So I stumbled upon this article that says that China is blocking all encrypted HTTPS traffic that uses the TLS 1.3 and ESNI. It still uses the TLS 1.1 and 1.2. I guess some form of encryption is still good, but it doesn't want to use the latest and greatest encryption. Gee, I wonder why. Since China wants to censor everything out in China because they don't want their own citizens to know what's going on in the world. They sure do not like having a great security in their own country, which is really, really depressing. We're going to go through some examples here in a moment, but so yeah, it uses the TLS 1.1 and 1.2 still. If it uses the TLS 1.3 and the ESNI, what it does, it'll just block out the IP address. So I guess that since the TLS 1.3 is far superior, that the Chinese government is not able to um, sniff out each packet, right? Which we're going to be talking about sniffing out packets. That's why they block it out because they want to know what their own citizens are up to. Now, given the fact that I have Chinese blood running in me, I'm American. I'm more American as ever there is be. This just really makes me want to denounce my Chinese blood even more because China doesn't have a pretty past. They like to censor out a whole lot of things. And when those Chinese YouTube bots come through and when we're talking bad about China, I'm going to be put on their blacklist. So, there's going to be a time where they're going to send me an invite to China and be like, oh, yeah, you're a great YouTuber, come over to China. And I'm like, no, you're going to put me in a fucking gulag, bro, with all them other people that are in those camps. I'm going to try to pronounce the word. It's Uyghurs, which is a Muslim group, Muslim Chinese group, and they are being held captive against their will. So, yeah, I ain't trying to be captured. You know, fuck the Chinese communists. Fuck them, dude. Just fuck them. So, what does this mean for you? Well, let's just say that if you do live in China, if you do plan on visiting China, it, the government has made itself a whole lot easier and a whole lot vulnerable to be hacked. I mean, they really self-pwn themselves. If you want me to be straight honest about it, um, let's just say that if you're running a web server, right, you can capture all this data. Um, like you are a legitimate website, you will capture all this data. But let's just say that there's another person who is going to act malicious, who's going to do a man in the middle attack by using whatever programs that there is, and he's going to sniff out everything that's going on in the network. So we're going to simulate that. We're going to simulate um, that how easy it's going to be, and as well as for the Chinese government to moderate its people. So here we have our incognito up and open because you are very 100% anonymous when you use incognito as an average Chinese citizen would think. It's like, oh yeah, you can't totally spy on me. There's no way. There's no fucking way. So and we're going to be using Wireshark. So think of Wireshark as the hacker or the Chinese communist government that's going to be spying on you. So we're going to be capturing some data. So let's go ahead and go towards our first dummy site. Now I say dummy site because it's literally a dummy site. It's if we look at the code at this, it's literally nothing. It's well, it just captures. It asks for some information, and that's it. Um, so it's a dummy site, but we're going to pretend that it's a social media site or when you are signing up for an email, right? Okay, so first name, first name is going to be code. Last name is going to be actual. The email is going to be poop@poop.com. Ooh, sorry, keep misspelling. And I identify as a cis male. There's probably some feminist out there is like, oh God, I just got a heart attack. There's a Mel out there. Okay, so a form of data, packets, a couple of packets have been sent. Um, so if we go right there, it says sex equals Mel, and it's like, okay, the communist Chinese government is like, okay, this person's a Mel. Now we got some form of data. Now if we go through a little bit more, it doesn't show the email or the first and last name. It's probably because of the way it's been coded, because the code doesn't actually get sent towards to any actual to another site. So, but for some reason it captured Mel. All right. So now that we're on our social media, and what we want to do is, okay, let's go look at some memes. After a long day of hard work, we just want to look at some memes. Then, boom, we click on this. Let's just go ahead and refresh this. And now you can see more data has been sent. So this image right here is very controversial to the president of Xi Jinping. He looks like Winnie the Pooh, which is, if I'm pretty sure if you were to Google or the Chinese Google search engine, whatever it's called over there, and you were to type in Winnie the Pooh, like instantly that will flag your IP address, or like just flag your entire network, or the entire cul-de-sac. And it's like, okay, we need to moderate these people. Obviously, they know about Winnie the Pooh. We don't like Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh is bad. This image is really controversial. For whatever reason, Xi Jinping does not like Winnie the Pooh, which is the most retarded thing I've ever seen. Like a president, a national leader of China, is really gonna get butthurt about Winnie the Pooh. Like, seriously? Damn. You must have one stretched out asshole if you're gonna have your feelings get that hurt on a massive scale over Winnie the Pooh. Anyways, the point is, um, I wouldn't doubt if you were to type in Tiananmen Square, the earlier 1900. I don't know the exact date of when Tiananmen Square was, but I'm sure if you were to search that up on Chinese Google, it would flag your IP address, and now the government's going to start watching what you're doing. Okay, so now let's start simulate that we are the government. Um, let's move this out the way. Like, okay, so what has this guy been doing? Oh, um, he's been looking at some stuff. Let me just refresh this. I need to get a PNG. 303 not modified. Normally with this, a PNG should pop up. Let's refresh it again. Or what we could do is just type it in manually. But yeah, a PNG would pop up, and we're going to simulate as being the Chinese government, and we're going to download that packet and convert it into that image. Uh, you're embarrassing me now. There it is. Okay, so now that there's some data that's been transferring through, it's like, okay, we see that um, there was an image that was brought to the attention here, and let's go ahead and download that image. So what we want to do is go to the OK200, then in parentheses there's that PNG. So it shows all this in packets, but we want to save that as a PNG. So what we want to do is go to Hypertext Transfer Protocol right here. Just go ahead and drop that down. Then we want to go to the content file, which we're going to download the file data. It shows the bytes right here, and we are going to extract packet bytes, and we're going to put that on our desktop, which is going to be right here. I'm going to go ahead and put this out of the way, and so now that's going to be on our desktop. It shows right here. Boom. We just doubt if it wants it. Okay, it's loading. Whatever. It'll pop up here in a second. Or we'll just close out of it and reopen it. And it just totally shows. In the thumbnail, you can see it. Whatever. Now it shows the image. Like, wow. Now the Chinese government is really pissed off. They have their feathers been ruffled. Now think of this on a mass scale of not just only one citizen, but with every citizen. So they see this image, they're gonna be knocking down doors like, "Yo, what's up with this? Are you gonna plan another riot? Why are you looking up memes that that memes are President Xi Jinping? Like, what's up with that, dude?" This is what it is when the Chinese government is going to block encrypted HTTPS. I wouldn't doubt that they develop some type of code that makes it look like a it could be like an authentic of HTTPS, right? But they backdoored it, right? So it still has all the other protocols, but it's all backdoored. What I'm meaning is they're still able to pull the data. It's like they block VPNs in their country, dude, and they want to sniff out every packet of data that's being sent. So this this is bad. One thing that I want to talk about is TikTok. Is when you have TikTok installed on Android or on iPhone, what it does, it creates a server, and it's not even a secured server; it's HTTP. So essentially, it's not even using HTTPS, and it logs every keystroke. And I don't know why people don't get the concept that TikTok is a backdoor to your phone to the Chinese government, and they're monitoring your every keystroke. So your emails, your password, your banking information, who you sending "I love you" pictures to, who what memes you're sending things to. Like they're logging everything. I don't know why it's so controversial. Now, yes, I installed TikTok a while back, and I have my own little TikTok, but I'm don't plan on installing that device anytime soon or at all on TikTok on my phone. This is just something that really brought towards my attention that on a mass scale that the Chinese government is blocking encrypted data, which you want encrypted data from from people prying eyes on you. Now, this does not only apply here in China, but the U.S., your own ISP, like Comcast, Roadrunner, AT&T, Verizon, even your own cell phone provider. Um, they log things through DNS, and they find out what sites that you're visiting because it's going through their network. Now, if you use HTTPS and using DNS over HTTPS, it just helps out encrypting your data even more and just pointing your DNS servers towards a reputable company such as Cloudflare. You'd help out your privacy even more. So just don't take this with a grain of salt, just that this is contained in China alone, because what I just pulled was like, okay, this is on what I just did was on a local network, and what makes you think that this can be stopped here on my local network if I'm going on to like Facebook or whatever? Facebook can moderate what you do, because it's like, okay, for example, when you go to Facebook or Twitter or whatever website, right? You're getting data from their servers. So Facebook knows what's going on. And since you are using like Verizon's network as your internet service provider or whoever else, they also know what's going on as well because they need to carry on that data to and from those servers. So that's a big security flaw. So you guys need to use like DNS over HTTPS and just protect yourselves. But yeah, this is a fucking joke. If you ever want to go to China and just totally fucking deface every fucking server that they have because they're using older technology as for security, you can. You can. You can um just do a man in the middle attack and just see what's going on with a public cafe or like a public McDonald's if there's a McDonald's over there or some type of public Wi-Fi. It's crazy, but yeah, it's really real. I hope you guys learned something about this video. I just want to do a little bit of a rant that this is really, really fucking dumb, and to do this on a massive scale on a whole fucking nation, that's retarded. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. If you guys like it, then like the video. If you guys dislike it, hit that dislike button twice. We are live here on twitch.tv/𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀. Make sure you guys drop a sub, and if you guys support the channel, hit that join button or come visit on Patreon. I'm gonna go ahead and just log the fuck off because this whole thing is stupid. The Chinese government is retarded. Period. And that's coming from someone who has Chinese blood in him. But yeah. Anyways, peace out.